Hey guys, welcome in. It's a MonkieMar. Before we get into this video, please make sure you click the like, the subscribe, and the bell for notifications. Hey guys, welcome in. You have something to say? Kitty? Welcome in, guys. Yesterday during the live of Michael Vaughan, I spoke about going ahead and making a video of JD Huff during his press conferences and how he has changed, his demeanor has changed, everything about him has changed. So let's go ahead, guys, and watch the pressies from day one to the last one he just did about 4 days ago. And with that, guys, let's get into it.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is JD Huff, and I'm the Chief of Police for the City of Fruitland. And I just want to start out by saying thank you for attending today. This thing is monumental, and it's super important that we have you guys here helping us out, getting some words out here today. So I want to start this off by introducing some of my counterparts here, some of my partners that are helping me with this. I'll start out with Special Agent Brian Sullivan with the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Captain Matt Sly with the Idaho State Police. I've got Chief John Plaza with the Payette Police Department, Brian Marinelli with the Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue Team, and I've got the family of Michael Joseph Vaughan here, Brandi and Tyler and Brandi's sister here today with us. So I'm going to read my press release to you, and then I'll stand by for a few questions for you once we complete this, okay? Today, the Fruitland Police Department, in conjunction with the State Police, multiple Treasure Valley law enforcement agencies, and the Federal Bureau of Investigation, we continue to search for missing and endangered 5-year-old Michael Joseph Vaughan, MJ to his family and friends. Michael was last seen near his residence on Southwest 9th Street in Fruitland at approximately 6:30 p.m. on July 27th, 2021. Operations to date include the methodical search of the area near Michael's residence, which included 2 irrigation runoff ditches, which were drained by the Fruitland Public Works Department in an extensive search and rescue effort, including the use of canines, aerial, and marine and land support. Idaho Fish and Game officers are continuing to search the river by boat for 4 to 5 miles downriver and back up, and in the sloughs of the Snake River as well. The Fruitland Police Department will continue to organize search and rescue operations with resources provided by the Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue Team, the Fruitland Fire Department, and the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and others. We've received a tremendous amount of support from the Fruitland community, and will continue to call upon them, but as needed. We're continuing to seek the public's assistance to identify individuals who are in the area of Southwest 8th, Southwest 9th, and Cornwall Way in Fruitland from 6:30 and 7:15 p.m. on Tuesday, July 27, 2021. If you were in that area or you know someone who was, please contact us at 208-642-6006, extension 0. That's the Payette County Sheriff's Office, and again, a tip line. Even if you don't believe that you have something that's relevant or relevant information to this case, we want you to contact us so we can recreate a complete picture of the time that Michael was last seen. Every minute counts in these investigations when searching for a missing child, and we appreciate the public's support and cooperation as we continue the search for Michael. If you live in the immediate area, please thoroughly search your property to include any outbuildings, vehicles, anything that a 5-year-old kid could get into. We also ask that you review any security camera footage that you may have that may be attached to your house. Video is extremely important to us in these circumstances and these investigations. We're also very grateful for the public's assistance in following up on each lead. We are vigorously following up on each lead that we're getting in. So I want to make it clear that as your tips are coming in, they're not falling on deaf ears. The community knows because they see us out here every single day, pounding the pavement, pounding these rural areas. We are working. We're committed to finding Michael, and we're not going to leave any stones unturned. So you need to understand that the investigation of this child we're using every resource, and it's very intense. We ask that the community only report information from credible sources to law enforcement. And as we know, that as we know that if we're just coming up with speculation, it causes rumors, and we'd like to have factual information. So please help us out that way so we can chase down factual leads. We also want to emphasize that Michael's family continues to be 100% cooperative with our investigation, and we're asking you to be extremely respectful of their privacy during this situation, and we would appreciate that. Super difficult time, as you would know. So Michael was last seen wearing a light blue Minecraft t-shirt over here on my left, dark blue boxer briefs, a child size 11 sandal, and he stands 3'7" tall. He's 50 pounds. He's got blonde hair, blue eyes, and he answers to the nickname Monkey. If you see Michael, have any information that would lead us to his whereabouts or his location, please call the Payette County Sheriff's Office at 208-642-6006, extension 0. So we just want to extend our appreciation to our community. We thank you for your continued support and the media. And with that, I'll stand for a few questions.
So I was out here the past few days. There's a lot of people driving out here wanting to help, but they weren't really sure. There was some organized stuff, but just what do you want people to do who are wanting to help you guys out? Do you want them to stay out of your way? Is there things that they can do to help support, or kind of what direction you want to give people who want to lend a hand?
Okay, thank you. That's a great question, and we've been getting that quite a bit. I would tell you that where we certainly appreciate the public's wanting to help us, we've evaluated that several times, and it can become a little problematic for us. So what we're asking the public to do at this point is to search their residences and their homes. You never know. We got a 5-year-old kid out there. He can wander in and out of places super easy, into people's backyards. Any place that he could be on a larger piece of property, that's what we're asking the public to do. We have trained professional search teams with search canines that are certified, and we're in these areas that we have been for the last 3 days now. So we're asking for the public to stay out of those areas and let us search those with these certified search teams. They're professionals, they know what they're looking for. A lot of times when we recruit civilian help, they miss things. And so where we have such an intense and such an important goal to accomplish, we don't want to miss a thing. We need to cover those pieces of ground inch by inch with trained searchers who know what they're looking for. And they have canines that accompany them that are trained and certified as well. So we're just asking the public to help us out that way. Let us work through this with trained professionals. At the end of this, if we still find nothing, we may recruit the public's help in another mass area search down the road. But that'll be down the road, and that is an as-needed event, okay? Thank you. Corey.
What credible leads have you gotten so far since the last time we spoke?
Corey, thank you for the question, but I'm not gonna opine or weigh in on the ongoing investigation into this thing. I just can't do it. So I appreciate that. Our focus and our main focus is finding MJ and bringing him back to his family, and that's where we're at right now. Search and rescue operations, and we're going to continue doing that. So thank you.
And you mentioned canine teams coming in. Were some canines brought in from out of state as well?
Well,
Yes.
yes, they were.
We've got canines, we had at least 10 specific canine teams from at least 3 different agencies.
I'm sorry, could you step up to the podium for
Yeah.
just a second there? Sorry.
We've had at least 10 separate canine teams from 3 different organizations that span from coast to coast.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Can you touch on more about what these outside agencies are able to bring to this case?
Oh my gosh, thank you for the question. These outside agencies bring everything to the case that I can't. Manpower, resources, equipment, I mean, everything. I mean, the city of Fruitland, we're a small city. We've got 12 officers out here beating the street every day. So bringing these experienced, qualified people into these investigations for us it's just completely incredible, and it's huge for us. The City of Fruitland Police Department we can continue to support our community and handle those calls for service that we need to, while adding support to this team here as we continue this investigation. Yeah, it's incredible. So.
Has any additional equipment been brought outside from the Fruitland Police, like with these agencies?
I don't understand your question. So any other equipment? So we do have drones that have been brought in from the Meridian Police Department. We have an Idaho State Police drone, as well as a Payette County drone and a Sand Hollow fire drone, all of which are pretty sophisticated, and they have FLIR capabilities, and we are continuing to use those as we search.
And just for the people that aren't familiar, could you explain what FLIR is?
FLIR is a forward-looking infrared thermal imaging device, and so we put that up there. We like to primarily do that in areas where it's a little bit cooler, so maybe in the morning or late at night, where we can get a little better signature or heat signature on those devices, and so we're continuing to do that. It's a great resource. So.
And is there anything you could release about, was there any indication of a direction of travel or a direction that Michael might have gone, or anything of that nature that you can release?
You know, I will tell you that he was last seen there on Southwest 9th. We're still trying to pin down some directions of travel, but I don't have that. You know, our goal is to find him, and we're going to continue hunting, and I will tell you that everything is on the table on this, okay? So we're going to continue our search and rescue efforts, and I appreciate you guys. I thank you for being out here today. And having said that, would the family like to speak to this at all? No?
I just want to thank the community and all the enforcement agencies that have been continuously, tirelessly looking for him, and anybody that has any information, please contact the Fruitland PD. We just want our monkey home. We just miss our baby and we want him home.
Anything helps. Anything.
Okay. Thank you, guys. All right, with that, we'll conclude. I thank you for coming.
Agencies that have been continuously, tirelessly looking for him, and anybody that has any information, please contact the Fruitland PD. We just want our monkey home. We just miss our baby and we want him home.
Anything helps. Anything.
Okay. Thank you, guys. All right, with that, we'll conclude. I thank you for coming. Good afternoon. Thanks for coming. I appreciate having everybody here today. I'd just like to introduce those who I have up here with me today. I've got Captain Matt Sly with the Idaho State Police, and I've got Supervising Agent Doug Hart with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. And then I also have joining us today the mother of Michael Joseph Vaughan, Brandi Neal. Thanks for being here with us today. We appreciate you. I want to start out by thanking our friends from the media for being here and giving us another opportunity to get Michael back in the headlines and at the forefront. Michael's case has impacted everyone who has heard about it, but likely not as much as it has impacted Brandi, Tyler, Michael's family, and the law enforcement officers working day in and day out to find him. I want to express my sincere thanks to you all for being here and covering the updates that we have for you today. The search for Michael will not stop until he's found, and the search remains very active. As I've said to the public, the effort may look a little bit different from time to time, but those of us in law enforcement leading the search and the investigation, Michael's on the top of our mind. He's our top priority, and finding him is an intense daily part of our lives. Michael Joseph Vaughan was last seen near his residence on Southwest 9th Street at approximately 6:30 p.m. Tuesday, July 27th, 2021. The first missing and endangered child alert went out at 8:20 p.m. with 4 different alerts to email, phone calls, text messages being issued to the area residents until 11:20 p.m. that night. Michael's image and information went out to law enforcement nationwide in a database called the National Center for the National Crime Information Center, and Michael has also been entered in the State of Idaho Missing Person Clearinghouse. From the time of notification, an exhaustive search effort and criminal investigation began simultaneously. So our ground searches are based on the highest probability that Michael may have wandered off, potentially gotten hurt, stuck in an irrigation ditch, a swimming pool, an outbuilding, an old appliance, a junk vehicle, anywhere a 50-pound curious boy could hide himself. We wanted to make sure that all the ground within a 1 to 2 mile radius from Southwest 9th Street, where Michael lives, has been searched by residential homeowners, professional searchers, law enforcement, and specifically trained canines. And not just one of these groups, but by all of these groups. As such, we've been conducting these searches continuously, even up to this week. On Monday of this week, the Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue with specialty canines and the Fruitland Police Department conducted searches in the front and backyards of nearly all the homes on Southwest 9th Street, as well as another large acreage off of Northwest 1st Street in between Nevada and Highway 95. On Tuesday, the Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue with their specialty canines, with the Fruitland Police Department, the Idaho State Police, who had a drone in the air, and the FBI, we methodically searched the farm ground to the southeast and southwest of Southwest 9th Street. Combined, we searched close to 1,000 acres this week. Why would we continue to search areas that have been searched multiple times before? Well, because we haven't found Michael yet, and conditions change. So further, you can imagine going home every night as a law enforcement officer wondering, did we miss something during that search? Michael, Brandi, and Tyler and the community continues to count on us to keep up the search, and that is why we continue to search. And I've said from the beginning that as long as those resources are available, we will continue to ask for them. Remember that a criminal investigation, that happened at the same time of notification as the time that Michael went missing. And due to the fact that we've conducted multiple searches using every tool available to us with no success, it increases the possibility that Michael was abducted. From the beginning until we find Michael, we're considering every possibility and following up on every lead developed, every tip that comes in, and the total number of tips that we've received to date is over 557. And the majority of those tips have been cleared by investigation. The others are currently being worked on. Word of our search has gone worldwide, and tips on where he might be have come in from literally around the globe. Thanks to resources available to us again, every tip, regardless of how many miles away, is going to be followed up on. We're committed, and we work together to support each other. Every day we come to work, we work through the exhaustion. For investigators, there's always highs and lows. Each day we go through these highs and lows, and but what I can tell you is, I can tell you with certainty that the Fruitland Police Department and our law enforcement partners are using every resource available, and we'll continue to look into every possibility until we know exactly what happened. We're steadfast in our commitment to bringing Michael home safely. I want to thank each and every search member, the search teams that have been out here, and each and every investigator for their time and expertise and the commitment they've put into helping us bring Michael home. We also want to emphasize Michael's family, who continues to be fully cooperative, working closely with us on almost a daily basis. We ask the community to continue to respect their privacy. As for the reward for Michael, the reward for Michael's safe return remains in effect, and it's increased. The amount is increased to $50,100. And that's for anyone having information leading to the safe return of Michael, and that'll be available until March 31st of 2022. I should also note that Michael's family has made considerable contributions to this reward fund, as have members of the community, and every donation that we've pulled in has been appreciated. I'm going to continue to update our Facebook page periodically during the course of this investigation. I'll continue to do so if we have some significant developments, and our efforts to keep the community informed as the best that we can. And so with that, at this time, I'd like to introduce Michael's mother, Brandi. Brandi is representing the Vaughan family today, and she would like to give a statement. So, Brandi.
Hello, everyone. I want to thank you for all being here today. My name is Brandi Neal, and I am Michael Joseph Vaughan's mama. I am here before all of you today on behalf of my family to speak about Michael. As much and everyone in our family wants to be up here in front of all of you today, I am here to speak on all of our behalf. I am here to ask you all. I'm here to ask you, please for your help. I am here to ask you to please keep Michael's face, his name, and his story in every one of your hearts, your eyes, and your minds. It has been 115 days. 115 days. He has not been home. We need every one of you. I need you. I need your help to bring my baby home. I need you to see his beautiful smile. I need you to see how happy he is. That smile was one of our most favorite camping trips. He got to see his first beaver dam, and he got to catch so many frogs that day, and he was so excited. His beautiful blue eyes. He was so happy that day because I promised we would go get ice cream cones, and he laughed so hard because his baby sister got to have her first ice cream cone, and it was everywhere. We got to play at the park that whole day. It was warm, it was sunny, and we played catch, we played football until it got dark. I need you. I need your help, please. I need you to know how much Michael is loved. I need you to know how much he is missed. Our family is broken without him. We miss his laughs, his smiles. We miss his hugs. I need you to know he is such a sweet, fun, exciting little boy. He brings such joy and love to our family and everyone that he knows and that knows him. Michael has a laugh that is beyond contagious. You can't help but smile and laugh when you hear his laugh. We need him home. I am asking for your help. I am asking for everyone's help. Please, please, if you know anything at all, if you know something, please, I am begging. This is my baby. This is my son. I need him home. I want him home. Please, I need your help to bring him home. I want to thank all of the community and the extended communities and everyone who continues to keep Michael in your thoughts, in your prayers, and in your eyes. Please keep sharing his picture. Please, any information to help bring my son home. I want to thank the Fruitland Police Department, the state, FBI. I want to thank all of them for their continued support. They have become family, and they are his son too. So please, please, please help me. Please help me bring my baby home. Please keep us all in your prayers. Anything, please help. Please help us bring our baby home. Thank you.
Thank you, Brandi. So at this time, I'll take a few questions. Go ahead.
Sir, what are some of the more credible tips that you folks have received? I know you said you got nearly 600, but have any bore any fruit to any extent so far?
I will tell you that several of them have bore fruit, but they just don't go anywhere. So as far as credible tips, we've received several credible tips. We work on those every single day. We just find that they take us nowhere at the end of the day. So those are the highs and lows that we talk about. So that's about all I can say about that.
Me personally, I'm not feeling it. I've waited months for this mom to come out and talk about Michael Vaughan. I feel that she gave a lot of emotion, not a lot of crying. And I also noticed, if you watch a JD Huff, very distant, No eye contact, really. It's just something is really off. Almost like JD knows something that he knows. She doesn't know he knows, but he knows. What are your guys' thoughts? Or did that just confuse you? All right, guys, that's it.
Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to start out by thanking you guys for showing up. I apologize for the short notice on this and moving this up in our schedule, but we identified some travel conflicts and some other commitments that weren't going to allow some of our partners to be here today. So they wanted to be here today. It was important for everybody to make it on this anniversary of Michael's disappearance. And so I appreciate you for indulging us and moving this up in your schedules as well. So I quickly want to recognize the Fruitland Police Department, the men and women of our department, as our staff continues to work tirelessly to keep this department moving forward as we continue to investigate Michael's case. So their loyalty and courage and tenacity is clearly unmatched, and it's a privilege to lead and work with these people every day. I just wanted to introduce some of my partners. As I've done in the past, our partnerships haven't changed. I'd like to introduce Supervisory Agent in Charge Doug Hart with the FBI, Captain Matt Sly with the Idaho State Police, Chief Gary Marshall with the Payette City Police Department, Sheriff Andy Creech with the Payette County Sheriff's Office, and Mark Sullivan with the Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue. We also have with us today the family of Michael Vaughan. We've got Brandi Neal, Tyler Vaughan, and Bob Vaughan, and Bug. So it's nice to have them here with us today. So since the evening of July 27th, 2021, the Fruitland Police Department, the Idaho State Police, the FBI, law enforcement agencies, and law enforcement agencies across the country have investigated the disappearance of 5-year-old Michael Vaughan. We haven't stopped. Every day we have unfinished business, and I'll tell you that every day is an anniversary of the disappearance for Michael Vaughan for us. Law enforcement, the families of law enforcement, and our community. Our investigation remains intense and strong. So I want to take a moment to just kind of cover some significant aspects of the case, to provide some context for those who aren't completely familiar with our case, or those might be jumping in a little bit later. A lot of it I've covered in prior press conferences, but I wanted to cover it again today. So Michael Joseph Vaughan was last seen at his residence on Southwest 9th Street at approximately 6:30 p.m. Tuesday, July 27, 21. Law enforcement received the first call by 911 at 7:21 p.m. and we began an immediate search of the area. And I should note that law enforcement across the country receives these type of calls every year. Numerous calls like this, we call them wander-offs, and they conclude, but after finding the child safely with friends or family, and clearly it's typically a breakdown in communication. So you need to know the first missing and endangered alert went out at 8:20, with different alerts to email, phone calls, text messages being issued to area residents until 11:20 that night. Michael's image and information went out to law enforcement nationwide on a database called the National Crime Information Center, or NCIC. And Michael's also been entered into the State of Idaho Missing Person Clearinghouse and the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. The Fruitland Police, Payette Police, and Payette County deputies and citizens searched through the night until support arrived the following morning. The ensuing response was immense. We had over 100 law enforcement officers from federal, state, and local agencies, including the FBI Child Abduction Rapid Deployment Team, along with trained search teams, converge on our small city of Fruitland. Our physical search efforts were conducted by experts from the Idaho Fish and Game, the Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, both Fruitland and Sand Hollow fire departments, multiple law enforcement agencies, and coordinated citizen searchers. The search included over 200 residential homes, properties including outbuildings, a septic tank, garbage cans, vehicles, irrigation ditches, and drain canals. Trained search teams and law enforcement, along with specialized canine teams from across the country, searched over 3,000 acres of farm ground, along with areas surrounding the city and out into the county. Sophisticated drones, boats with sonar, boats with canines, kayaks, paragliders. I would say that if we could have dammed the Snake River, we would have. With the help of residences and businesses, we were able to retrieve hours and hours of security camera video, and we continue to reference that video while working on our leads. So let's talk about since the disappearance of Michael. When I tell you our investigation has been intense and daily, I can assure you that it has been. Since the disappearance, detectives and investigators across the country have logged tens of thousands of man-hours to bring this case to conclusion. We've gathered an immense amount of data and continue to work through it with experts from several agencies. We've applied for and served over 27 search warrants, but that may seem low, but I'm telling you that we've also performed, probably triple that in mutual consent type searches. So the search warrant and consent searches we've performed have yielded high volumes of data, and search warrants are still being written today. The data requires expertise from law enforcement partners, and this takes a lot of time to decipher. We continue to use all of our investigative resources, to include that of the Idaho State Police and our friends at the FBI. Further, the Idaho State Police and the FBI have assigned investigators to work specifically with the City of Fruitland Police Department on this case, and our partnership is healthy and strong. We continue to call upon the Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue teams with their specialized canine units, and we've received some recent leads that have put us out in the area again, searching more acreage. And I can't thank them enough for what they've done for us. On a moment's notice, they're jumping and running for us. Although unsuccessful with these searches, we can't stop, and we appreciate the continued support from all of our members, and I would tell you that the number of acres searched will continue to grow. So in our efforts to develop a detailed timeline of events leading up to Michael's appearance, we processed over 1,000 leads. So we've cleared many of these leads, but not all have been cleared because some require assistance from out of state, more investigators, and probably more importantly, just time to work these things through to make sure we can bring each lead to a conclusion. This process is exhaustive, and it takes a lot of time, and we believe someone out there will ultimately provide us with some information that'll help us solve this case. It's important to note that as we continue to refine our timeline, we now believe that Michael disappeared in a smaller window of time, and that's probably between the time of 6:40 p.m. and 7 o'clock p.m. on the 27th. Earlier in the investigation, we needed assistance in identifying 2 vehicles and 2 pedestrians that were seen in the area around the time of Michael's disappearance. And so you guys need to know that we positively identified the blue Dodge Avenger we were looking for, and the man that we saw jogging in that area. Those have both been identified, vetted, and investigated, and to an end. So the white Honda Pilot, 2016 to 18 Honda Pilot that we have leaving the area at approximately that time, again, we believe that it belongs to a resident, but we haven't quite been able to clear that and verify that. So that's kind of still an outstanding for us. The man seen walking through the area of the splash pad of Crestview Park leading up to the time of Michael's disappearance, he's not come forward, and he has not been identified. So the man's described as a white male adult, late 20s, early 30s. He was seen wearing black shorts, a white t-shirt with cut-off sleeves, dark colored shoes, and a hat. So I need to make it perfectly clear that he is not a suspect, but we need to talk to him so we can determine his whereabouts and see if he witnessed anything that would be helpful in this investigation. So I plan on releasing a photograph of that individual in my Facebook official posting later today. So you'll all have that. You need to understand that this is a multifaceted investigation. So many leads we're working many leads at the same time. So some leads are temporarily abandoned as priority leads come in, and that's happened to us on multiple occasions. Once abandoned and we clear the priority leads, then we pick those things right back up and we're working on them again until we can work them to conclusion, right? It takes an intense effort and a lot of work to document all of the leads as they're coming in. And at the conclusion of this investigation, I'm hopeful we'll find the answers. It's important that our case is organized and very strong. So I will tell you that this is a criminal investigation. So with that, you need to know that the majority of our investigative efforts just cannot be made public at this time. As members of the community, we agonize with the family, and we've dedicated our resources to bringing Michael home. So we believe the continued distribution of this story will generate more attention and tips that can be investigated by our department and our partners. So anyone having information regarding Michael's disappearance, I would ask you please reach out to us. No tidbit of information is too benign or too obscure. It just helps us process the overall picture. We appreciate the efforts of the community, members of the media partners who keep this case at the forefront by promoting and sharing the story, and we encourage all of you to continue sharing the official poster from the Idaho Missing Persons Clearinghouse. I would like to introduce a new partnership today. It's called the Homeward Bound Program. The program was first started by Trooper Renee Padgett with the Washington State Patrol in 2005. She was working with the WSP Commercial Vehicle Division. Trooper Paget worked with then the Gordon Trucking with a vision that posters of missing children being displayed on sides of semi-trailers traveling around the country could bring much needed awareness and possibly recovery. With the help of Tanea Parmenter with the Idaho State Police, we've been able to partner with the Homeward Bound program, which will carry Michael's information across the country on semi-trailers. As designed by Trooper Paget, this will expand the exposure of Michael's case on the interstates, highways, and roads of our country, which will bring new leads and potentially help us bring Michael home. We're hoping to have semi-trailers outfitted with Michael's information near the end of August and get those on the road. I would ask anyone with any information to continue to send tips to findmichael.org. If you are out of state and you have information that you think would help us bring Michael home, I'm encouraging you to contact your local law enforcement team. They will then get in touch with us and we can start working those leads as they come in. Please share what you have. You can also contact Crime Stoppers at 343-COPS. You can remain anonymous. The reward for the information leading to Michael's safe return has grown to $52,992. This fund has been maintained by the City of Fruitland. It's secure. This will remain in place until Michael comes home. I just ask that you continue to pray for Michael, for strength for his family, and the steadfast resolve for those who are working to bring him home. Thank you for standing firm with Michael's family and our continued law enforcement efforts. So with that, we'll stand for a few questions. Go ahead. You know, I would tell you that people like to deal in absolutes, and there's nothing about this case that is an absolute. So we will continue to investigate all aspects and all avenues in this case. And, you know, as I've said before, the family continues to be extremely cooperative and working with our investigation. And so, yeah, I mean, that's just kind of where we're at.
You previously said back in November that there was a strong likelihood that he was abducted. Is there anything you can say that you can share with us that led you to that conclusion?
Tristan, you know, due to the number of searches with trained teams and the acreages searched, that is the reason why, and without success, that is the reason why we, you know, there's a possibility or a higher probability of abduction. That's what led us to that. Again, you know, as we continue to work through this thing, there are still no absolutes. So when I say everything's on the table, it's still on the table. Okay. You know, we're looking into that. But I think, like I said, you know, these leads and what we're doing, it's happening at the same time. So, yes, we're looking into friends and family close to the Vaughans, and we're looking outside as well.
Has the public interest in the case been hard to investigate? Has it become convoluted with the theories that are flying around?
Yes. Yes, it has. So, you know, there's a number of theories. And as a matter of fact, we develop many theories throughout the week as well. And so once we develop those theories, you know, plausible situations, then we vigorously get after that. And so I certainly don't want to discourage any information that's coming into the Fruitland Police Department, because the leads have been, you know, we're over 1,000 leads now, and we have to have that. I mean, I believe that, you know, in the midst of that, there's going to be that tidbit of information that breaks this case and helps us bring him home. So.
That being said, do you think that the last press conference we had in November, do you think that not being able to release as much information as the public would like, or as much information as this case supports, that's led to people coming up with these theories?
Yeah, I think it could be. But you also need to understand that we have an obligation, and in order to keep our case organized and strong when this thing is concluded, it's important that we hold that information close, at least at this point, right? There'll be a time for that, for public disclosure, and right now it just isn't. So that's the reason for my hesitancy to put out updates, because we are in the daily work of this investigation, and it's daily. So while it's certainly not a distraction, you know, if I have significant information that needs to be passed, then I'll get it out there to you. But I just, you know, we're just working this thing on a daily basis. So.
Is there anything you can say about persons of interest in this case? How many persons of interest?
You know, I'm not going to really get into too deep on the persons of interest, but I will tell you there are multiple. Okay.
Are there any people that you interviewed or searched that have been uncooperative?
Yeah, there have been. Without getting into too much detail, I would tell you properties, vehicles, electronic devices, you know, everything you think we would be serving search warrants on, more than likely we've served search warrants on it. So.
And then you mentioned there were multiple persons of interest. Were there any suspects?
No.
Can you tell us a little bit about your daily efforts on this case? I think what does the day-to-day look like when you're investigating?
So our day-to-day efforts start with an intelligence briefing first thing in the morning. We go over aspects of the case and current leads that we're working to try to develop new strategies. We pull in our partners from the FBI and the Idaho State Police, and we start with a direction for that day, and every day starts the same. But I will tell you, it has been this way since the day Michael went missing, right? We do the same thing every day, and it's intense. And so we're able to clear a lot of leads that way. We're making a lot of progress, working through the data, and like we have been from the beginning, that's kind of where I'll leave that.
In your investigation, have you been able to tie this possibly to other missing children or abductions that are similar?
We haven't. Although I know there are some similarities, such as the Summer Wells case, but we just haven't been able to tie that to that case. So. All right. Well, if I don't have any more questions, I really, again, you guys, I appreciate you. You guys have been phenomenal. My local media outlets, I can't thank you enough. Unless you're awesome, so I appreciate you. And we'll keep after it. My intent, just so you guys know, is once we get the word on our Homeward Bound program and when those trucks are going to be outfitted, that we'll set up another time that we can do an unveiling on our truck with Michael's information. Maybe bring you guys out at that point again, just to view the truck, and we'll get something out to the public when it comes to that as well. So, but again, you guys are awesome. I appreciate you. Thank you. So.
All right, so those were the 3 presses where they were there that I wanted to share. I know there was another update with JD Huff, but the family was not there. So now let's listen to what Tyler said when Michael went missing, and let's listen once again to Brandi yelling at the little girl. Are you sweet? Are you mean? Are you up and down and all around, Brandi? I truly hope that Tyler did not do something accidentally and cover up Michael Vaughan's disappearance, because JD Huff, that last interview, if you can get through the code and hear what he's saying, I truly believe that he believed that somehow Tyler is involved. Now, did Brandi go to work? Did Brandi not go to work? Do we have proof of that? I have not seen any proof of her going to work, but I am still going to give her the benefit of the doubt, guys, on that one. So let's watch these 2 videos, and then I'm going to wrap it up, guys. But I definitely want to hear from you guys on this one. I know it was long, but make sure you drop the comment. And if you want to tell me something that I do not know, you can email the channel at monkiemartruecrime@gmail.com.
I want to get out of bed every day. But we do it, and we try to keep our stuff together.
Try.
And just get through every day. Change bug. Michael was playing on his Switch. She was sleeping, so it took a minute for me to rouse her. And then I changed a diaper and ordered pizza. Probably took me, 15 minutes maybe. And came back out and went outside to smoke, and Monkey wasn't outside, so I figured he was inside with his brother, wasn't inside.
That's when panic kicked in for Tyler.
I came outside and I looked down the street, and I hopped in the car and called Brandi and drove to the splash pad. And
okay, so listen to that part. He says that he went driving to the splash pad and he called Brandi. So how was Brandi asking you to look under the bed and check the back corner, and you said that he was not there? How was all of that happening at 7 p.m.? You know what? Listen closely, guys. He is full of shit. No eye contact. Constantly holding on to Brandi for support. He's just, I have never bought his a crack of crap.
And then all over the neighborhood, walking, running, driving. Like I couldn't tell you where. I mean, I didn't leave the neighborhood, but all up and down.
Frantically, he called Brandi, asking her to get home immediately.
I was scared, and she was the first person I thought to call. I needed her home as fast as I could because I was panicked and out of my mind.
Panicked because he has no idea where his best buddy Michael is.
He's a wonderful, wonderful.
Well, that makes sense because nobody ever told me about Weezer, and they did say a psychic was the only reason they went out to Weezer.
Right.
So any psychic that's sending him in, get your goddamn ass before I whoop you. Get your goddamn ass! How many fucking times do you have to be told? Swear to God, I'm gonna strangle. Take your apple, go sit down and watch Blue, okay? Leave me be. A puppy! Yeah, puppy. Yeah, puppy. Yeah, she has. Hi, Bobby.
Hi, Bobby.
Yeah,